Welcome back. It is 1608, if you can believe it. We are making quick work of this decade. In the last one, Isabella became a teenager. Sophronia finished her soulmate aspiration. And Theta is having more relationship troubles as per usual in this game. So let's roll next for the birthdays this year. We have Bertram Waldrick II, who was born at the end of last year, can get an 8 or a 16. He did not. We have Odalina Dubois, no 2, 4, or 6 to become a child. Survived. And then we have our Elias Larkin, no 7 or 13 to become a teenager. That was a little close. Will he get married? No, 1 through 5 to not marry. He will get married. How many kids? No, 10 to not have kids. 9. Okay, this is for all of you guys who were worried about the Larkin name dying out because this guy is having 9 kids. Good for him. Oh my gosh. Okay, so very excited about that. Wymond Hobard, no 3 or 18 to become a young adult. He did not get that. And once again, I'm just trying to stay within my Sims before we move to the new world. And so far, we just have Camille and Wymond as young adults. And, neither of those are marriageable because there are no ladies. So we'll wait on that. It looks like when Joya ages up in a couple of years, we might be able to marry her to Wymond. I think she's related to Camille. So Hugh and Mencia Venian are going to become adults. They have to get at least a 7. Ooh. Hugh did not survive. Actually, isn't Hugh... Is Hugh our child? Hold on. Where is... Ah. Everything is blue. Stop. How do I make it not blue anymore? Okay, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Where is Luke? Okay, Luke. Where is... I need to find Watira. Yeah. Yeah, Hugh. Oh, Hugh. Okay. Hugh is our child. Okay, and then Richard Hobard, for his end-of-life role, he will live 2 more years. 1, 2. Okay, so Richard Hobard will be dying. And then, let's see. No birthdays still over here. I don't know how to get this to go away, you guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. That was concerning. Anyway, that is it for birthdays. We have still 2 Sims having babies, although the Dubois are up against their last couple of years having children, but hopefully we'll get some new marriages. And yeah, so let's hop into the game. Okay, so here we are. We are still also working on Isabella's aspiration. She's doing the music aspiration. She's writing a song right now. I did want to say, also, I just remembered to say this, is that the Custom Ultimate Decades Challenge, it is still going to happen. It's just going to be, happening when I have availability. So right now, I have to do like 1 video a day with like an extra day for wiggle room during the time that I'm free from work. And so because of that schedule, this week I don't have Friday available, so I only have time for 4 videos. I'd need 5 if I was going to also make a custom Ultimate Decades Challenge video. So anyway, what I'm saying is I'm not giving up on it. It's still going to happen. Just whenever I have that extra day in my schedule, I will make that happen. But anyway, moving on, because we have to get to the story, and I just am rambling at this point. So Juan has come over here to kind of plead his case to Theta. She is worried after the last confrontation that they had with Jose. She was very uncomfortable in that situation. She didn't even like how Juan handled it. She didn't like anything. So he kind of came over here to apologize for his behavior and plead his case and really, ask her if she could give him a chance. And, he really likes her. They're obviously very compatible, and he doesn't want her to hold it against him that his brother is awful and that he can get riled up by his brother and everything, because he's basically telling her, like, I will cut him off. I will cut my brother off. I don't have a problem with that. I am really, not liking his behavior either, and I really like you, and I just want things to happen for us. And it's interesting too, because like he hasn't found a wife all this time. Like he is older than her, but he's not married or anything, so he hasn't had the best luck himself. And so the fact that these two are so compatible, it's not something that he wants to just give up on or throw away or anything. So anyway, that is what's going on here. She is sort of into it. She's like, she does like him. She does think they're compatible, but she is also concerned. And so she's going to have Sophronia kind of come and give her some advice, kind of talk to her about, what she should do. And Sophronia obviously has no problem with that kind of stuff. She's with Huri and he gets in fights too. And so basically Sophronia is just like, look, if you find someone that you like and you want to be with and you're compatible and they're a good person and you feel like they'll take good care of you, just go for it. Like she's already had the conversation about that they can't support her or anything. So she's just kind of saying, if you like him, everything else can be fixed. Everything else, the deals with Jose, the problems, like that can all be solved. But, you know, loving someone or not loving someone is a totally different thing that you don't have control over and that you need to take advantage of. And she kind of talks about how she was with Luke and she doesn't regret marrying Luke and she doesn't regret being with him, but when she found Huri, even though he has his faults as well, like he takes really good care of her, he takes really good care of her daughter and her niece, and he's just like a good person. Like even though he's very rough around the edges, he is still a good person, and and that is a really valuable thing for her. And so this is kind of the conversation that they're having and enjoying each other's company. Theta is really glad that Sophronia took her in and she feels really close to her now. She's really very grateful for them taking her in and her being able to have this opportunity in this life because of Sophronia. And it's just really, really good because she would have been out on the streets. Like she probably would have had to marry Jose, and he's a jerk. So, she's just, very grateful and wants to make the best decision that she can for her, but also to kind of honor the people that have helped her. So anyway, it is also Elias's birthday this year. So Elias is going to have his birthday party here, and all the kids are going to come to it and everything. But I did notice right here, look who is here, but it's Joya, who's gorgeous. And so Marie is going to kind of try to set her son up, William, with Joya Waldrick. She is trying to find William an appropriate spouse, one that she feels like is from a good enough family, but that also can't push her and her family around. Like Marie wants someone who would be a little more passive, who would just kind of, be the wife, take care of the household, have the babies, and, not fight back against Marie's shenanigans or problems or anything. Marie doesn't want someone else to enter their family who could potentially cause problems for her after she's done so much to get rid of everybody else. So William talks to Joya a little bit. He's not, doesn't look like he's like super into it or anything, but it's interesting because he came over and talked to Theta a little bit, and Theta is actually flirty right now, which I think is funny, probably because we were just talking with Juan with her, but because she's a little flirty, maybe Isabella notices, and Isabella kind of inserts herself into the conversation there. She kind of came and sat at the table with everybody else, and then, everybody comes out here, and I'm realizing that there are some Sims here that are supposed to be dead who aren't. And I think that that's been happening to me lately. Like I've noticed that sometimes I feel like I kill a sim and it doesn't look like they became a ghost. So I don't know if like I need to update my MCCC or whatever, but I'm like, these two kids are not alive. So I'm going to get rid of them. But yeah, so Isabella basically, when she's noticing other people kind of get close to William or get his attention, she kind of inserts herself in because, like I said, she likes to be the favorite. She likes to be his best friend. She is definitely one of those girl best friends who's like feels threatened if he were to get a girlfriend or anything. Like she's very much like, he's mine, even if I want him or don't want him. Like you can't get in between our relationship. She's she's one of those. And again, I don't think that I'm not trying to paint Isabella as a bad person. I do think that she is going to have tendencies to kind of trying to take control of situations, take control of maybe people. Like, she has had so much turbulence in her life that I feel like a natural progression of her personality is for her to feel like she needs to hang on to the things that she believes are hers very tightly. So there's that. I'm not saying she's a good person or a bad person. I don't say that about any of my Sims. Well, I say it about some of them, but basically what I try to do here is I just try to explain to you why I am having the Sims make the choices they're making and why I feel that it is a logical progression. So anyway, Huri comes over to visit his daughter, which he hasn't done in a while, and I notice that their relationship is terrible. And then I look into his relationship panel, and I'm like, why does this guy have so many problems with so many people? And I wonder if it's because he's hot-headed, or I don't even know. Like, this is your daughter. How did you get in such bad standing with her? Because we've already talked about how much Huri loves his daughter, and I think that part of it is probably she's starting her own family. She's got like 5 kids. She's pregnant again. He hasn't been around as much, and so she is just like not into it right now. She's like, okay, you came over here. I'm trying to wrangle the children. I'm pregnant. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with you right now, you know? And so I think that he is kind of realizing that he hasn't been as helpful as he probably could have been to help his daughter. I think he kind of saw her get married and go off and thought, okay, well, that's my job is done. Like, I still love you. I still want to be in your life. I want to be a good grandpa and everything. But at the same time, like, you know, you're your husband's responsibility now. And I think that he is kind of feeling a little bad about the fact that he hasn't been around more, that he's been kind of so wrapped up in his own stuff that's going on, because previously to him getting married to Sophronia, obviously he was around a lot more. He was around his daughter a lot more. And so that kind of makes him think. And he is now a little bit worried about that. He does want to make more of an effort to be around her and to kind of win back some of her good graces. And then also he's thinking to himself, well, just because, you know, a daughter might have a man in her life doesn't mean that I can't still be supportive of her. And so he's really thinking also about Theta, who isn't his daughter, but who is under his care. And like I said, he's very protective of the people that are in his care. He has a bit of a hero complex. So he is really wanting to make sure that all of his girls are okay. And so he knows that Theta is having a hard time with the Jose situation, with the Juan situation. So he's like, you know what? I haven't been doing enough as a father, as a male head of household and everything, so I need to do more. And so what he's going to do is he is going to try and have a conversation with Juan about the whole situation. So that is what he needs to do. He needs to take charge a little bit more and decide to try and fix things himself. And also, for some reason, he has a very negative romantic relationship with Juan too. I'm like, Huri, what has been going on in your life? So apparently that's a thing. But anyway, Clarice just had her baby as soon as we left. She probably wasn't feeling good because she was in labor. And so so she just had the baby. He survived. We're naming him Gerald, so that is going to be really good. That is a new baby, and that is this one more baby for Clarice is going to happen. So that's that on that. And then we are going to have him kind of come over here. It looks like Clarice is here again, but we're not really focused on Clarice right now. So he kind of, maybe he came to church to visit with Clarice, like they went to church together, and then he saw Juan outside afterwards and was like, okay, I'm going to go like sneak off and kind of talk to Juan a little bit. I do not know what has gone on in their relationship, but Huri gets around, I guess, in all aspects. So he's basically talking to Juan, and he's like, look, I know you really like Theta, like let's talk about it. And so Juan really, you know, confesses that he cares a lot about Theta, and he also sees her as his last chance to get married and have children and have a good life. And he, you know, he feels really strongly about that, and he really, really wants to, you know, have her in his life, and he doesn't want his brother to ruin it, and he's totally willing to do something about his brother. So Huri is like, okay, well, if you're willing to do something about your brother's situation, then we can make that happen. And he's like, but I don't know how to get Jose off my back about this. And Huri, who knows through Sophronia how calculating Marie is and how awful she is and everything, is basically going to say, well, you need to like pit him against Marie, because Marie will 100% kill that guy. Like, you need to tell him that you know what? The decision is up to Marie because she's the mother, and you need to kind of convince him to go confront Marie and cause a problem there because that's going to be it for him. And Huri, as hot-headed as he is, he's also a smart guy. And so he's really trying to help Juan kind of figure out his next steps, and he's telling him, like, if you want to marry Theta, you have to solve this problem. I will not give you my blessing to marry her if your brother is still going to be causing a problem for her. So that's what goes on there. We're going to have Juan then kind of invite his brother out, be like, hey, look, like, we need to go out together, like, we haven't been spending time together, and I know we've been in a really rough spot. We used to be best friends, like, we can't fight over a girl like this. So he basically comes and tries to have this conversation with Jose, who is really open to the conversation. Like I said, they were best friends. So this guy also was with Vlad. The townies are so interesting. But basically he has this conversation with Jose, and he basically says what Huri said, and he says, Marie is kind of the one who's going to decide this. It's not really us. We're not really the ones who get to decide who marries her. I know that there was a bit of a scandal and everything, but, that's just kind of what happened. So Marie is the one. Actually, Marie is sitting right there, and I didn't even notice it earlier because I was just focused on them. But basically, he's like, Marie's the one who you need to talk to. Marie's the one who can solve this problem between brothers impartially, and then, we're okay, and it'll be fine. So he's basically telling his brother, like, why don't we stop fighting among each other and stop having problems as brothers, and instead, what we can do is have someone else decide, someone else be in control of this situation. And so he basically convinces Jose that he needs to talk to Marie about it, and that he'll respect whatever Marie decides to decide on. So Jose, as we've shown, is not the brightest bulb on the tree. So that is why he is immediately falling for this. I think I feel a little bad for him, because part of me does think that he is hoping that this does solve his problems that he's been having with his brother. I think he does care about his family, but also he was promised a wife, and he's much older than, like, Jose is much older than Juan. Juan is the youngest child in that family of like 8. So he is a lot older than his brother, and he's like, I need a wife. I need to, continue on my line and whatever. So he comes over and he talks to Marie, and he like basically confronts her because of course she did not invite him over to her house. She did not want him here. And so she's like, what are you doing here? What do you want? And he's like, look, like, you really need to solve this problem with Theta. And she's like, Theta, I don't care about Theta anymore. Like, she doesn't care about it. And so she is kind of, pushing it back against him. Like, I don't care what you do. Like, leave me out. Like, leave my house, get out of here. Like, you're a loser and I don't care about you, and you weren't even that useful. And of course Jose is then getting mad because he's like, how could you say that? Like, I tried to do what you asked, and I thought we had an agreement, and it was just like all of this stuff. And so he starts to get angry with her and starts yelling at her. And in this case, like, Marie's already washed her hands of Theta. Marie really doesn't care. So So anyway, they're going to argue, and for some reason, William is not here, but William is the man of the house, and he is basically going to hear that someone is accosting his mother. And William, well, I think he knows kind of what his mother is like a little bit. He still cares about her very deeply. She's always treated him well. She's always given him every opportunity in the world. And so he is going to stick up for his mother. He is going to, fight back against Jose and be like, how dare you come into my house and talk to my mother like this, and blah, blah, blah. And so they are going to get into it a bit. And, William does care about his mother a lot. And I think he is at the age where he's going to start realizing her manipulations, but he's only just getting there. Like, he hasn't really gotten to the part where he, gets frustrated with her getting involved in aspects of his life, because it hasn't really affected him yet. He hasn't really had any problems yet. He's the Duke. He's having a good time. Now that he's of marriageable age, they might start having some friction with each other. But as of right now, he is able to kind of fight back against Jose and basically say, like, get out of my house. You will never show your face around here again. You will never show your face in society again. You're done. It's over. Like, he is using his power as a Duke to ruin Jose and basically be like, you can't come around anymore. No one's going to marry you. No one's going to be on your side. No one's going to anything because I'm a duke and you're nobody. And you're done. So William 100% sticks up for his mother in this instance. And yeah, so that's where it went. So for birthdays, we have Bertram Waldrick II becoming an infant, Odalina Dubois becoming a child, Elias Larkin becoming a teenager, Wyman Hobart becoming a young adult, Hugh Venian passing away, Gerald Dubois being born, and then also we had another baby, Giselle Waldrick, be born at the end of this year. So Giselle has been born off screen. I didn't realize that they were like going to have a baby like right when I turned off the filming. Next year we have Giselle aging up into an infant. Let's see, Humphrey Dubois the third aging up, and a Constance Venian, our Constance reincarnation. So a few exciting birthdays next year. Nothing in our main household though. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. Things are going to continue to heat up as the teenagers start to really get into the marriage market. So I'm really excited about that and about the drama and about Isabella taking a stand and, you know what, maybe being a little bit Marie-like in her own way where she tries to control situations. So she is going to be a fun and interesting character to play with. And let's keep going on it. So I'll see you in the next one.